All right, up here at the top left is our Terran player. He is going to be struggling here. Despite having been, I think, one of the favorites of this group, he is now here in a very vulnerable position at 1 win and 2 losses. And down here in the bottom right, he has been a titan of the game in the past, a very strong player. Here he is trying to get back into Code S to reclaim some of that fame.
InCa.
Maybe not a titan, but he's been a definitely a front runner.
A front runner for sure. He's always made it very high. In the open seasons, he did really well.
Yeah.
He was, during that time, considered to be one of the best players in the world. And I remember I watched him play a show match against Idra before the GSL started. When Idra was starting to play StarCraft II, it was really fun to watch back then because StarCraft II was so new.
Who won?
I believe in that series, Idra won, if I'm not mistaken. I remember he was using the ID like ooh or something during that game. Yeah. And wow.
Oh, the SCV
nothing he could have done because it's a full wall. He couldn't have even pulled the SCV back in from the outside.
And he's going to go to work on another SCV. That one's going to escape.
Second barracks has gone down for GanZI. He's going to be 2 racks in here, and he's completely denied the scouting information of this. Consider also at these positions, GanZI's tech lab will have to be, I mean, if he wants to make add-ons on both buildings, he's going to have to decide which one he wants the tech lab to be on, which one he wants the reactor to be on, because they're both going to be vulnerable. He decides to put the reactor on the outside. It's safer, because if you lose the reactor, you lose production, but you don't lose the research, which is so important.
I like that because if he does get another scout in there, seeing a reactor isn't quite as telling as
that's
tech
true
lab.
as well.
Because the reactor might mean, oftentimes if you're going Banshees, you get a reactor barracks as well.
Yeah, it's very true. That's a very good point. Infinity reasons, not only that, but normally with the build, you make the reactor first anyways, and the second barracks isn't done, so.
Yeah. Well, that works too.
There's like so many reasons, but yeah, I guess
also
that GanZI is smart.
He just thinks the reactor looks cooler and he wants to show it off to InCa.
That's potentially true as well.
No, it's not. That has no potential, I'm sorry. Be true.
InCa has taken double gas. He's making a second gateway. No tech just yet, though. He does have a probe in the center of the map, and he has made his 3rd pylon, so he's not going to be doing a void rail in, although GanZI is searching frantically for that probe right now to make sure that he's not going to do that. And the probe will actually find the SCV, which will potentially allow him to kill the SCV that's prevented from scouting in the middle of the map. The Stalker is taking some damage.
I think he knows what's up. He's seen this decent army here with the Marauder as well. He knows there's a tech lab in play. Concussive Shells is just finished, and so yeah, GanZI's producing a lot of units right now. InCa chrono boosting out his Stalkers from his 2 gateways. Warp Gate research is not yet finished, so he's going to have a hard time getting enough units out here, especially with Concussive Shells.
There's an SCV to tank shots as well. There's only one Marauder with the first mix.
Yeah, he's going to make a bunker right next to those gateways.
Guardian Shield does go up. The Sentry being targeted. Nice micro on the Marauder, and a mistake by InCa. He's taking some shots with the bunker.
He gets the SCV on the bunker.
2 Stalkers about to pop, but they're not going to be on the attack move.
The Concussive Shell is stopping those Stalkers from getting away for the most part, but it looks like with some nice micro and no more Marauders to slow his units, InCa is going to be able to get out of this.
Yep, he holds.
Very nicely played by InCa.
And with only 2 gateways, 2 gates against 2 racks. He's got a forward pylon set up to put on some pressure. Since he was able to kill that so well, this actually could work out really well for him. It's been spotted now, though. Will he have enough time to take it down? If he goes out for the pylon, his units will get trapped in the middle of the map, so he cannot deal with the pylon. And he's going to actually lose some of his reinforcements anyways.
Ouch.
Marauder gets targeted. He's going to actually get caught by some of the units over here, though. He's actually warping in more.
Ramp. 4 warpits, though. Yeah, he's going to fall back. He needs to get in that bunker. That bunker is his only chance of surviving this. The bunker is not yet complete, and all the units die before the bunker completes. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like InCa may clinch his Codas spot here. Slayer's GanZI has one more shot to try and bring this home, to try and hold this off. The Stalkers are so low on health. Oh, does get one of them.
Well, he's traded pretty well. The worker count now 32 to 25 in InCa's favor. He has a Nexus on the way. GanZI has not made a command center. He has a few SCVs even off the line right now, so minimizes his worker count even further. Now, a Robotics and Twilight Council both on the way for InCa. You know what that means? He wants to put on some super big aggression at this point to really punish his opponent for how many units he was able to kill. His army supply is going to be much lower than InCa's, and he's just going to punish him for it. He can't do everything.
Yeah, he's going to be able to probably get Blink, and then he can get an Observer and Blink into the main. It's a very good map for that. You can do some harassment and just blink right out again.
GanZI is going to go for an all-in. He's going to hit a stim timing, perhaps even with +1. He's actually going up to 4 barracks here and getting an eBay. The eBay might just be for turrets, but it's possible he can try to get +1 and use that as well. But right now, it's looking like he's just going up to 4 barracks. And with stim, when that finishes, he will have a lot of units. It will be scary for InCa, especially if he's out in the middle of the map trying to do that push that we were discussing. Blink is a third of the way done, and that Observer's on the way.
By the way, I have just been handed a note from our producer, and if GanZI wins this, there will be a set of tiebreakers.
Okay, that's correct.
Yeah, so, but he's got some work ahead of him before he can accomplish that, before he can get to that point.
Yeah, he does, man. It's looking pretty tough right now, and this is not a best of 3, this is just a best of 1.
Yeah.
Warp Gate research, Blink research is about 90% done right now. So, InCa ahead in supply right now. His opponent with no command center. Double forges are up. SCVs are being pulled. This is a super all-in.
Yep, here he goes. He's bringing most of his SCVs along with this attack, and it will be a pretty decent timing because forges are going up right now. He doesn't really have any high-tech units out. He's got one Immortal on the way, but it's not going to be there in time. This is what GanZI's one chance if he is going to be in Code S. He has to win with this attack right now. Moving up the ramp, the SCV is leading the charge. Force fields blocking everything though. The SCVs get slaughtered without any units, and the stim has gone off, and all of the units running around behind the force fields with the stim on, not accomplishing anything.
We're really not the best, but with Blink, a cannon is on the way, and InCa looks like he is going to be totally fine here. He will cancel his cannon. Actually, lost it, but there's an Immortal out now as well. More units warping in. He can't stim any further. I mean, he can, but he can't afford to.
Yeah, he's just slowly trying to kite these probes. But this looks like the end, ladies and gentlemen. We will not go to those tiebreakers if InCa can close this out. GanZI is going for one last push. He's bringing the rest of his SCVs out, but they're not going to get there in time. GG! And OGS InCa surprises me once again and comes out with a 3-1 victory over his group in order to advance to Code S. GanZI will be staying in Code A along with Ace and Sniper.
Yep. He just basically, his pressure was thwarted by good micro. It all came down to that one battle in the main. If he had been able to get the bunker up, or if he had won that battle slightly, the things would have gone very differently. But because InCa crushed that fight, he was able to catch reinforcements and then go up the ramp and just did so much damage in all sorts of ways to get an early lead. Then played safe, got Blink and Observers. That allowed him to be mobile and harass his opponent, but also defend quite well.
Yes, indeed, and yeah, those force fields at the end there were pretty clutch.
They were, some of them, like,
some of them, yeah, were not very clutch, but...
The first wave, I thought it was too late. I was like, and then actually it worked out better than I thought with how he dropped them. So that was a scary, close call there, but he did barely clutch it. So InCa and Lenok will advance.
Yes,
and a very interesting hat from our OGS coach.
Very colorful.
Colorful
hat there. Yeah. I've noticed that actually a lot of times Korean accessories are a little bit wackier, like tennis shoes. People in Korea will just have like bright pink or bright orange tennis shoes, just like as their normal shoes.
You know, right now I have black tennis shoes that I bought from the United States about maybe 2 years ago or something. Like,
they've lasted this long?
Well, I didn't wear them very.
Okay.
Like I didn't really wear them until I came to Seoul. Actually, I was wearing my other shoes before I came here, and I just had them and I started wearing them. But I'm considering buying some of those bright shoes, man.
Maybe I will too. That's the one thing I didn't get a chance to do. I was so busy in the States. I had to do things like I mailed out my prizes finally for that giveaway I had before, and I had to see everyone I knew and all kinds of other stuff to take care of. But I didn't get around to buying new shoes, fortunately. So maybe I'll get some bright purple ones.
Yeah,
I could go for some purple shoes.
Go to ABC Mart or something.
There you go. Anyway, we're going to check out the final results, though, for you guys that might have tuned in late.
Yeah.
You might be wondering about all of the scores and what have you. Here we go. Leenock owning Face, winning every single game.
4-0 looking very strong.
GanZI,
he looked strong, but his actual win ratio is 1 and 3. Did not advance. And Ace doing all-ins and following them up with, you know, whatever he tried to follow his all-ins up, but ended up losing the majority of the games due to all-ins. But he did play some macro games and lost anyways. 2-2 for Sniper, of course, and we saw our last player advance there. Now, these are tomorrow's matches. Bumblebee, JYP, Maru, SC, the STC, and Alicia. Another 6-person group, a pretty long one for tomorrow.
Yep, and another group where there's no real superstars. But
this is our Terran group. We've got 4 Terrans.
True.
Or 3 Terrans, 2 processors.
But I think it's going to be a pretty good group because they're all about evenly matched, I would say. I mean, obviously some are going to be a little bit better than others, but you know, they don't have any superstars that are going to dominate the group like Leenock. You know, I thought GanZI was going to do better than that, but I knew Leenock was going to do very well in this group. You know that, but kind of like yesterday's group, it's going to be a group where there's going to be a lot of fighting going on. It could be very close at the end, like yesterday as well.
Yeah, could potentially be very much like yesterday. Only time will tell. But that is it for today. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to check out the VODs on GOMTV.net. We'll see you tomorrow.
You better mean what you say.